Today is August 20th, 2026, and it has officially been one full year of me owning my 2023 Toyota GR86. I've kept this thing completely stock and we'll get more into that later. But before we talk about what's next for the car, let me take you guys back to the beginning, because everything that's happened with this car in just 1 year is honestly kind of crazy. So let's get into some backstory on why I chose this car in the first place. I remember when I first started getting into cars about 3 years ago. At the time I had a 10th gen Civic hatch. The first thing I did put on was an intake. I feel like every first thing that you do to a car, if you're getting into the hobby, put an intake on it. And I remember getting that ratchet and the set of sockets, jack stands and a jack, and being able to do all that myself. I felt like being a teenager and saying that you worked on your car, you put something in on your car by yourself was something crazy and something like that not a lot of people achieved, really. So being able to do those things by myself really grew the passion and the love for the hobby. And as I started going to more and more car meets, some friends being into cars too, working on their cars, like the passion just grew. And I remember scrolling on TikTok, as every teenager does. I see a car pop up, and turns out that the car that popped up on my TikTok was a wide body Agile Kit GR86. And that was it from there. I started digging deeper. It was a fairly new car at the time, because 2023 cars started releasing in 2022. So it was a fairly new car in the market. It was a car that I really loved. I liked the look of it from the factory, and just everything about it was something that I liked. And of course, my immediate thought after doing all this research was, I want one of these one day. And at the time, going from a Civic to this car was honestly kind of scary. I was on the edge of either me saving up to get this or just buying more parts for the Civic. And I ultimately bought more things for the Civic because I was too afraid of making that leap of getting a new car. It was something that I wasn't ready for necessarily, even though I really wanted the car. So I was content with buying more parts for the Civic. And honestly, I don't regret that decision because it taught me to work on cars even more. I think if I got this car earlier than what I actually did, then I wouldn't have the experience of working on the Civic. All those things wouldn't have happened if I got this car earlier. Now I can apply all that into this car. Now, just because I didn't take the opportunity to get this car sooner doesn't mean that I didn't want this car at all. You know, every time I would drive past one, I would take a picture. Every time I would see one on the street, I would point it out. Like, it was still a car that I really wanted, but I had no idea when I wanted it. One day, about 2 years later, a car pops up on the market, and I'm at work. I see it and I send it to my girlfriend because I was kind of at the point between those 2 years that I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna keep the Civic. Like, the 86 is kind of not attainable right now, but in the back of my mind was afraid to take that next step. I get home from work, next thing you know, we're on the way to the dealership. We are in the Civic for probably the last time, and some exciting news. We might go get a new car. Hi guys, we're at the dealership right now. We're currently outside looking at the car. It's kind of crazy because everything lined up for a reason. Price, the fact that it was a manual transmission, the mileage on this thing was like literally perfect. I don't think there was any other listing on the market that had this good of a deal for this car. And originally I wanted a white GR86. That was like the main thing I was in the market for, was a white one. But when the red one came up, like something deep down told me that this is the car for you. Because growing up, red was my favorite color. So I don't know how I ended up wanting white, but I'm so glad that red popped up, and now I'm here with a red one. So long story short, we get to the dealer, we talk numbers for that day, and then we go back home with no car because we wanted a night to really think on it, really make sure, was this the car that I really wanted, going from a Civic, good gas mileage, good economy car, takes basic gas, to a sports car, has less mileage, manual transmission, so it burns more gas, and it takes premium. You know, it was a lot of factors to think about, but ultimately the next day we go back to the dealer and the rest is history.
That's your freaking car.
So I did a thing. So not even 2 weeks into owning this car, I took it 1,000+ miles to Georgia and back. here at the gas station, filling up. I think we're in Gainesville or somewhere near that. We're at a Love's truck stop, filling up the car. We have like 3 hours until we make it to the Buc-ee's. So yeah, I'm tired. We're switching positions driving, but I think I'm gonna drive the rest of the way. But yeah, 3 more hours until we make it to Buc-ee's. It was $30. Put the camera back up either mid-drive or when we make it to Buc-ee's. We made it to Buc-ee's. Sausage biscuit and sausage, egg, and cheese croissant. Proof, if you guys don't believe us. Getting to experience what this car was truly made for, mountain driving, was something that I will never forget. And that trip really showed me how comfortable this car can be on long road trips, because I am 6'4", I am taller than an average person, and being in the car for that long can get uncomfortable. But there is a lot of room in this car, and you'll see later on in the video that throughout the year of me owning this car, I took plenty of road trips, so you'll see how far I got with this thing. I still remember the first time I watched this thing and I was being so careful, probably more careful than I needed to be, but honestly, I'm glad that I did, because I never really had a car that I cared for this much about, and I treated it so delicately. Now that we rinsed the car off, we're gonna go in with the foam cannon and put soap all over the car. Car is all soaked up. Let's go in with the sponge, scrub this thing down. It needs a lot of TLC. Every little scratch and ding, and especially on the front bumper, all the rock chips, was something that I kind of hated, because this was my first car, and I was being so nitpicky about every little thing, because for all my people that do own cars can understand that you want it to look as good as possible. So about 2 months into my ownership, I took this thing on a 16-hour road trip all the way to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the Slammed Enough event. We're gonna go do some stuff, go to the top of some other mountains, take some pictures, all the activities today. So once we're done editing, we're gonna go out and explore. And this is the view of the 8.6. It's 3:30, we just left. We had to edit a lot, but as you can see, we're going down. See you when we make it there, and probably just gonna do a lot of random stuff today.
Where are we at?
And that was my second year attending. First year I had my Civic. That year I had the GR86. And the complete difference in the event with my Civic and the 8.6 was crazy. The Civic was, my first time driving out of the state, so everything was new. And then going back the next year with this car in the mountains, I felt like I was more comfortable with the roads, especially in this car. This car is great on handling with all of that, but just the whole Gatlinburg experience that year was kind of crazy. That was like the last year before it got out of control, and I don't think they're doing it this year. It was super nice seeing all the GR86s that were there, because it gave me a lot of inspo. Now, of course, when driving 16 hours to another state and back, you're gonna have to do an oil change, and this car is notorious for its oil starvation problems. My phone just fell. Today, we are doing an oil change on the 8.6 for the first time. I just came back from a 16-hour road trip from Tennessee, and I put about 5,000 miles on this car since I've got it. So it is definitely due for an oil change. So let's get it started. Doing my first oil change on this car was kind of scary, but I learned a lot throughout the whole experience. One thing that made it easier for the oil changes was that I added a Fumoto drain valve, and that basically removes the old plug and puts a valve system in. So all I have to do is take a pin out, open the valve, and the oil will drain from there. And all I have to do is close the valve and put the pin back on to take a little bit of the fresh oil and lube it up. And then now we can put this on the car. And remember to do this hand tight don't use any tools. So this is the Fumoto valve. You take this pin, pull out, pull this pin up, and spin, and that releases the oil. If I wanted to attach a hose to this end, I can. Let's get this installed on the car. Spin this on like that, and then we should be able to take this and tighten this up. Take the Fumoto pin, put this up and through. So now the valve is locked, everything's secure, and the skid plate should clear. I would recommend if you have an 8.6 or a BRZ to put that on, because you don't have to worry about breaking the plug loose. You don't have to worry about torquing it back on. All it is just a valve, and it makes it 10 times easier, 10 times faster to change your oil. Also, one thing that I learned in this car was that the oil filter is literally right on top. Shout out to Subaru. I will always say this in my oil videos, that Subaru's placement of the oil filter right on top is 10 out of 10, probably the best in like any car that I've seen myself that I've done an oil change on. Yeah, I'm happy about that placement too, because that also makes it faster to do all the oil changes. So as far as modifications, I haven't really done that much to it. It's just the glass is clear. So let's get this installed. Also forgot to mention that it did come with extra nuts, so we're gonna use that instead of the ones that came off the car. Here is the difference between these as well, the OEM, aftermarket. I've added these JDM clear side markers. I went with the clear over the smoked because I just like how the clear looks, and for future purposes, the clear would match better with what I have planned for the car. And I also put in this trunk arrow piece by Driven Media. Today, thanks to Driven Media, we have this piece right here. This goes right in the edge of the windshield in the trunk, which will block that gap so that no leaves can enter. Only water can drain through, and the leaves will run right off over your trunk and just onto the road. No more clogging, no more mess in the inside of your trunk. And with all that being said, let's get this installed on the car. Basically, all that does is block the leaves from getting into the trunk channel and stops the cloggage of water and just nasty debris that can get into that gap between the rear windshield and the trunk. Two simple things, but honestly make the car look somewhat better. I'm glad that I added those things, but there's more to come in the future. That's all I can really say right now. As far as modifications, it's pretty much stock, and I'm glad that I've kept it stock for this long, because it's really allowed me to enjoy the car as it is, and I'm happy with how it drives. I'm happy with where it's taken me, so no regrets for any of that. My first sponsorship. Now, the idea of a company sending you something for free or even paying you to make a video is kind of crazy, because it was something that has never happened to me. So when I got sponsored for the VFO dash cam that I have and still have on the car right now, I was super excited to get this opportunity to film, and it was something that I took seriously and something that I learned a lot while installing it, because I've never had a dash cam in the Civic, but with this car and it being like a baby to me, and I was babying this car, I knew I wanted to get a dash cam, but I just didn't know what kind of dash cam. So when I got the email, I thought it was perfect timing, and I took the opportunity as quick as I could. Today is a very special video. We have our first sponsored video of the channel. I'm very excited to be partnering with VFO. They sent me their new A119M Pro dash cam, and they also sent me a hardwiring kit as well. We're gonna be putting these two things on the car. With all that being said, let's get into the install. Okay, so I'm gonna be unboxing all the things that they sent me. We have first the dash cam. Take this little cover off. Shout out to them, really nice packaging. We have the dash cam up here, right up front. Very lightweight and very compact. It should just fit right up here on the windshield. Very simple, very sleek, excited to put this on. Now, while installing the dash cam, I also learned how to hardwire. That was also experience in itself, because everyone knows when working on cars, the mechanical side of it is easier than the electrical side of it. Working on wires was kind of scary, but I'm glad that I was able to learn a lot throughout installing the dash cam. Now, some of my favorite videos to film on this channel are all the informative videos, whether it's my updated ones of how I've been driving monthly throughout this car, like my 3-month update video of how I've liked the car, my 5-month update of how I like the car, or even the buyer's guide video. Those videos were some of my favorite because I like to inform people of my personal experience of owning this car, and I like to let people know before they buy a sports car like I did, what you're kind of getting yourself into, my personal perspective, and if something I experienced can help somebody else, that's what makes it worth it for me. So if you guys want more informative videos, please let me know in the comments, because I'll be happy to make more and more of them. Now, literally the biggest series on my channel is my cross-country road trip series. The road trip to somewhere that I can't disclose quite yet. But as we go along this series, you'll see the different things that we do on this road trip, the different places we'll go. With this road trip, I want it to be something special. I want it to be something unique. I want to take the 86 and drive it to places that it's meant to be driven. You know, with Florida, you get just straight flat roads, and this is a pure mountain cornering car. So why not take it to a mountainous place? It's a little hint. There's a lot of mountains, but that's all you're getting for now. But just started the trip. In retrospect, looking back, the thought of driving from Florida all the way to California is kind of crazy. 99% of people can't say that they've done it in a tiny sports car at that. Being able to see the whole country state by state and, you know, getting a sticker was probably one of the funnest things, and like one of the funnest ideas that we came up with, so that we remember that we've been there and got to experience a little bit of it. That was genuinely an experience of a lifetime, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. And my favorite day in that whole trip was being at the Golden Gate Bridge and seeing literally a monument on the whole opposite coast of where I grew up in, right behind you with your car right there. Finally made it to the lookout spot with the bridge in the back. It's crazy, we were here 5 months ago, just walking around. Now the car is here. No words, just crazy driving experience being in Cali. It's the weather, really nice to be out here. Seeing it in person was something that I couldn't even think of going into the road trip. I didn't really look that far ahead and where that road trip would take me, but taking that picture was wild. And not just that, that whole day being with friends, driving Highway 1 along the coast, one of my favorite days that I had. And now that brings us here, 1 year into owning this car. And looking back on it, it's honestly crazy to see the amount of things I really did. If I were to tell someone random all the experiences that I got to do, they would have think I've done it in 2-3 years. But to be able to do that all in just 1 year is not heard of. Something when I first got the car, I didn't think would be possible, but here we are. One of the biggest things this car has taught me is that life can change so quickly. And at the same time, life is really, really short. You can't get your time back. So I've always tried to live with the mindset of live your life to the fullest. And I think I did a pretty good job with that this past year. So who knows what this next year is going to bring. I have a lot more things in mind, and I think you guys already know where I'm going with this. This car's not going to stay stock for too much longer. More things I want to do to it, a lot more places I want to take it, and a lot more memories that I want to make with it. I want to say thank you, seriously. Thank you for sticking around with me this entire time, whether you've been here since the Civic days, since I first got the car, since the cross-country road trip, or you just found the video now. You guys are the reason I'm able to keep doing this. The motivation to keep making videos gets stronger and stronger every day, and I can't wait to see where the next year takes us. But for now, that's 1 year with the GR86. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.